What is this? What is this? Man living in a 10 by 10 tiny house and homesteading in the city. Smashing in the city. Couldn't wait. Just homesteading in the city. Right? Who knew that that was the wet dream? Right? For the Bash who gives a Bash Generation X and Y and millennials and Bash forever, right? Just getting away with it all in the city, smashing it because Bash, leave the country. That the city is where the true promises is, people. Right? This and that. You're like, of course, cities are the future. The cities of the future, and this and that and this. It's the community-based organization that will just reorganize itself, just like living roofs. Everyone just put a living roof on your home in the city, and that is the city of the future. Yes. With relentless bike lanes and bash electric Tesla cars that will just go into the ground, tunnel, and burrow, and then project you like Hot Wheels into space. Yes. So, but first, start off by building a tiny home and just somehow we'll see what it means for this
Meant
guy.
was using repurposed materials. So this was built out of about 99% secondhand and repurposed materials. And I did it for about $1,500, under $1,500. One of my big goals.
Whoa, $1,500, right? A poor man's wage, right? We need at least 3,000 a month to live, right? This and that. Right? People say, "No, I need 6,000." No, forget that. I need 30,000 a month, otherwise I cannot live. Oh, no. What? No, I need $200,000 a month. Otherwise, I cannot live. No. Wait. I think I got it now. I need at least $1.5 million a month. Forget a month, bi-weekly. And you better pay up. Otherwise, you are denying my existence. You're denying my humanity. What is going on? Somehow going and building a 10 by 10 and smashing and saying, hey, it only cost me this much and now I can just smash forever. What is this guy saying? Okay, go on.
Goals through living simply and living sustainably is really to make it accessible to other people and to help them to be able to live in a similar way if they
So simply and sustainably, right? Or what does it even mean? Live simple, man. Yeah, it's the simple life. This and that and this. Right? Come on, don't you get it, you bash? It's just breathe in, breathe out. That's how simple it is. Just get with it. Just sit down and expand those non-existent hemorrhoids and just work them like Kegels and squish and tighten and then release and relax and huff and puff in and huff and puff out. This and that and stretch relentlessly and just roll around in the dirt. And of course, this guy's barefoot because, yes, he's totally grounded. So grounded, he's basically not even there. That's why he just not needs a little space because he's basically not even here, people. He wanted the what? Minimal impact?
desire to. So I see some of these really expensive tiny houses out there that might be $100,000, $150,000, and my goal is to kind of show the other end of the spectrum of just.
First of all, whoever builds a $200,000 tiny house is a lunatic. Right? I mean, what's the first of all, what is a tiny house? Isn't it like a mini tiny daughter module? Right? In the miniature world, it's where I live. I'm a little fairy that just trailers around relentlessly wherever I go, but really I just build it on a trailer and say it's mobile, but really I'm never going to move it. So what's going on? Well, it's just a little trailer home that you can just travel the world in, bud. Didn't you know? I'm just like a gypsy. I'm just a nomad. I just need a good meal and then hope for the best. Right. So what? Now you deny the lifestyle, but you're attempting to live like the Amish, apparently. But without the doctrine and all this. That's why it's just simple to you. Simple means just disconnect from everything, but what it is, you, because you're the boss, right? Amazing.
Just how simple it can be, how inexpensive it can be, and doing it in a way that really minimizes our environmental.
Right, and if you really wanted, dude, you could build a hut in the ground at no cost at all. Just a shovel, just a relentless will, right? You dig a big hole, and then you just cover it, forage it like a beaver, and then you just bash in it, and you live in there, and you bash. You can cook. You can work with relentless clay and mud and stones, and just build yourself a little hut. Right? Fortify it with your relentless knowledge of the natural world. I'm sure you could cook up a way to just live underground at no cost. Zero. Zero cost. Zero cost. And you're like, well, I would need some fire to burn in the air, and that would be the cost. Wow, what a shame. Oh, but you're in the city, right? So you can't dig into the earth because you'll get bashed by the city. The city's policies and the bash permits and this and that. No, what are you doing there, guy? You can't bash, just dig into the ground and build yourself a place to live. No. No, 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 no. It's not code and this and that, and you need some permits to tell you how to live and this and that. And of course, because we just want your safety, we want your house to be just secure for everyone to just be safe. No. It's just a way to just make sure you live where you live and nowhere else. And in no other way. Exactly.
Impact. I'll take you inside, but 100 square feet, it's pretty small.
So just go.
So I'm living in Orlando, Florida, in a very urban area. I'm just about 3 miles or so from downtown. And so the way that I designed
Orlando, Florida, right? Oh. So anywhere down up near the equator, right? Who knew you could just live in your back? I mean, you don't even need to build a little shack. It's just always nice. It rains, but fine. Just build a thatched roof and bash. There you go. There and this and that and this and this and that. But no, he's like, $1,500. Wow, guys, I just recycled all these refurbished materials and just 99% of it was amazing. And 1% I just had to buy somehow. Probably the insulation, right? That boiled. The material that you saw on the roof and this. But look, you don't anywhere else that's not possible in the sense of, well, it needs more insulation. The further away from the equator you go, the more insulation you would need, right? Yeah, it's such things as winter, snow, ice, this and that and this, and condensation and heat and wow and this and that and this and wow, what's going on? Or more drastically present. The further you go away from the equator, right? Whether it's more intense rain all the time or just the differential between hot and cold extremes. Wow, exactly. And you're like, nah, I just live simply.
This house was to really fit into the neighborhood. I didn't want something that really stuck out, since tiny houses aren't actually legal in a lot of places, and I'm not putting it on wheels.
Oh, he didn't want it to stick out, so it's just a shed, some shed. And then people see him walking in and out of it relentlessly, so people know he lives in there.
So what I decided to do is build it to be basically just like a shed. And that's the way that I really designed it. So what I used is mostly leftover materials from construction sites, so I'm using basic 2x4s and plywood. I used pallets as the foundation. The roof is just basic metal. These are secondhand materials I got off Craigslist for the windows, same for the doors. So yeah, building wise, it was a very simple design. I basically did research on sheds online and then adapted it for my needs. Sheds aren't typically gonna have so much windows and such large doors, for example. Here in Florida, we deal with extremely hot weather during the summer, so one of my main challenges was designing this in a way where I'd be able to make it through our heat, our hot, humid...
Bash. So people think that just by smashing into little tiny places, somehow they're better. In the sense of, wow, less impact, I'm just harming Gaia less. And this and this and this, I recycle this and this and that and this and this and that. Right? What's this?
25 pounds of honey, and it's been plenty for me.
No plenty for me.
And
So all his foraging,
one shelf.
his preserves.
Example, it's important to be able to store bulk amounts of food. Like this is yucca, for example, one of my staple crops.
So he has a little freezer.
The thing about the deep chest freezer is it only uses about $3 a month in electricity, but I can store about 200 pounds of food. So I just have an extension cord that's running from the property that I'm on, and I'm using less than $10 a month total. So I was originally going to do solar panels. This is food oriented as well. One of the big things is my bee boxes, the honey supers for when I have just 3 plugs, so it minimizes the amount of electricity. This is food oriented. Having them for a short period of time was really necessary, and I felt like it to be the amount of electricity I can use. My computer is one thing that I'm often using, a lamp and other.
Right.
It's a gravity-fed sink, so no electricity or anything like that. A solar oven, which I need to start using more now that it's gonna.
Solar oven. Amazing.
It's gonna be summertime, and my backyard is pretty shady, and so now that it's summer, there's gonna be more sun, so I'll start using that more. I have 2 stoves. I have a regular propane stove that I fill up a 5-gallon or 20-pound propane tank, and that's what I currently am using at the moment. And then I also have a biodigester.
But I have some slug just cooking up some steam. Right? So who knew that you could just relentlessly be one with the earth, right? Be the build the earth back, the soil, build the soil, blah blah blah, right? And people are now just like, what? What's compost, right? What's compost, right? So forever, never ago, you were just bashed, right? You had no idea what compost was. You had no idea, right? Man, it was just completely, clueless. Just bashing himself left and right, no clue, right? Man never had a relationship with the earth, never. Even though agriculture apparently, made us somehow superhumans. So how do you just half bash yourself through agriculture and then all of a sudden say, hey, what are we doing? We just didn't have a clue and we just mechanized it all and just bashed. We just somehow just mortared it and just it's desolate now. And then we just somehow learning now what biobags are and compost and bash things like manure and this and this and that and this and this and mix planting and mix blah 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 and blah 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 and borders and fences. The relentless permaculturist, right? But wow, I was just somehow just so fringe. Right, because man is just so bashed that apparently we just don't need, we had never needed it, and no, and now it's just so easy to do because somehow we just space rocketed, hyperbole into the just never. It's isthmus, right? The asymptote never touches. It's just so close to somehow perfection that you think it is, but no, complete desolation. Right, to you, it's never reachable. For you, never will reach with that bashhood thought and belief system in your bash self. I'm self-sustainable. I have so little impact on the globe. I have zero footprint, and I recycle and eat my own garbage. So there's zero waste, because I just put my waste in this bag and somehow it just gives me gas. And it's, don't worry guys, it's just super clean gas, super clean, super burnable. You can burn gas. Who knew you could burn gas? Exactly, because you ultimately you believe the universe is just some hot fart that cooled down. Wow, what a shame. What are you doing? You have no idea. Somehow you're making the slug work and you're like, whoa, I paid good money for this.
That turns food waste into methane that I can cook with. That hasn't been able to produce as much as I need, so I still need to keep my propane stove. I'm hoping I can get that thing running to the point where I can, be completely independent of the fossil fuels. But for now, I'm still using the propane. So I also can cook with wood. The wood is just wood that I gather.
Right, so who knew that it's just relentlessly easy to live? Anywhere around the equator, guys, look. And it's the way people have been doing it, like this and other relentless ways and blah 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 sophistications. Right? So what's going on? What is going on? Somehow this is just the future, guys. They're saying, "Oh, did you forget? Did you forget how to just be minimal and just have nothing? Just it's this, that, and this, and then you can just go out and still smash in the world. Yay!" What's going on? Right? You look up, well, minimalism. What is it? Right? What is it? Becoming a minimalist. The first thing that comes up, minimalism is intentionality. Oh, right, mindfulness, really? It is marked by clarity, purpose, and intentionality. Intention, right? All this bash. At its core, minimalism is the intentional promotion of the things we most value and the removal of everything that distracts us from it. Right? So, choosing who lives and dies, essentially. Well, so minimalism is essentially little. It's it's a it's the little tiny little god and goddesses syndrome. And less clutter is good, and somehow clutter is distortion. Oh, but somehow clutter is good for if you it means that you have a beautiful mind and this and this and that you don't care about the physical thing to just blah 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 control. No, that's just bashing you. The victory is overcoming the world. Who knew? And then the bash other thing says, oh, it's just visual arts and this and this and this, right? Minimalism, right? Look at it. Wow. Minimal art, minimalist design and architecture, minimalist architecture and space, concepts and designs, elements. Minimalist architecture and their works, literally minimalism. Minimal music, minimalism in film. Define minimalism. Now you say define minimalism, and it says what? A trend in sculpture and painting that arose in the 1950s. Oh, and use simple, typical massive forms. Typically massive forms. So just blocks, cubes, triangles. Two, an avant-garde movement in music characterized by the repetition of very short phrases which change gradually, producing a hypnotic effect. Right, all pop music of today. Who knew? And this and this and that and this and this. So minimalism, right? It's just sucking you dry, right? The succubus. Who knew? That's it's minimalism. Just letting it suck you dry, right? The life out of you because it was just so hypnotic. I wanted to be, I wanted to be beguiled. I wanted to just deny myself and just only pretend. I just said, no, I will forgive myself relentlessly. That's how I stop it. Wow, what a shame. So people are just minimalizing themselves and just nothing. So somehow it just means I just have to go and get what I want, right? And this and nobody understood me. I was raised in the 50s and all. I just didn't know because there was some sort of, trend. There was trends happening relentlessly, and I didn't know because they were shape shifting me and sculpting me into a way of being. And this victim. Right, what's going on? So is the opposite of minimalism, in the material sense, a hoarder? And you'll say, of course. No, for the hoarder is everyone. Everyone's just stuffing their face with all sorts of false love, all sorts of false relation, just relentless counterfeit. That's why you're anemic. You're poor. You're bankrupt. You have no substance, nothing you can stand afloat at. That's why you aspire just to stay afloat, to just get that breath of fresh air, because you're drowning, in the bloodbath, right? Of the murder of yourself and your children and everyone around you. But somehow you just want to lessen the suffering because, it's the power of the people. That's the power of the people coming together and in adversity and just joining hands and just launching us further. What a shame, really. I thought the when people got together as nations, they just battle against each other and slay each other. And you're like, no, what about the Olympics, buddy? That's nations coming together and bashing, but then you just get little bash medals. Right? It's all just games, right? Just games and swapping images and matches, and bitches and bashes and bitches and whoops and matches and soldiers and bashes and causes and wow. But somehow you're the relentless minimalist, right? So why is it that this bash has to go and create some bash little tiny thing? It's because he thinks that people just use too much. You think they're just out smashing and smashing. So him thinking about using less and just having a minimal is just a bash little tiny pea of a brain. Then somehow it's better.
Gather from the neighborhood, fallen down trees or heat-treated pallets that are clean to cook with.
Great. So he just built this bash, fire pit, and then just has cook some pot. Amazing, right? So what does this guy? What? That's it. What? Why is this guy living for? What does he see? What does he worship? Because he could be living like this or be living in a mansion. But either way, what does he see? Right? Is there a creator, or is there just nothing, and that's why you just don't care? All you care about is just having less carbon footprint, being sustainable, and using less energy, and this and that, and this and this, and composting my waste, and this and that and that. Says who? How is that in any shape, way, or form? Supposed or claimed to be what one needs to do to somehow make supposedly life better. Life in the sense of your what everyone witnesses day in day out as happening around them, which is just suffering. So how does the suffering just go away? Because everyone could just be in relentless tiny houses, but then what? You'd still be in suffrage, right? Because I have a tiny house in the country or in the city, but then I just still have to go to bash work. And I have to just still vote in the best bashes that I think are going to bash me basher. And then it's just hope for the best, right? Elbows up, hope for the best, and just join relentless book clubs and just sleepovers and this and that, around, wow. Trip, blah, business trips and blah, meaning this and that, and friction with another sleepover and this and that, and blah. Just relentless void love. False love everywhere. Right? You're pretending, right? You're pretending to be, you're pretending, right? But no, you're just bash. You're in panspermia, in Neverland. You're like, no, I just want to just live the student life forever. I just, without it, I'm just nothing. But eventually you might, start asking yourself, like, oh man, really? Maybe I do, like, want to have kids and a family, or I just want a good woman. I just want a good woman. I'm tired of sleepovers, one night stands and this and that. I'm just tired of it. Right? The man's supposedly growing up. He's becoming a real man now, realizing this and that. Really? What's going on? No clue. Because even if he's like, okay, I'm gonna go get married, so then he goes, still dates, but now he's like thinking, I want to find a wife. So it's almost like just at the end of the race, people just realize. Same for the woman, right? They've all been testing, pounding their gloves, stretching themselves out. They've all been just calloused and just overused and overburned and over just, frictioned. And now they're like, nah, yeah, okay, now I use my body all up because I was told to. Just use myself relentlessly since as long as you can, guys. Go out there and have fun as long as your bodies are worth it. And this, and that, and this, and this, and that. Just go out and have fun, guys. Just go out and have fun and just find those people that want to have fun with you, too. And this, and this, and that, and this, and this, and this, and that, and nothing. Just suffrage. Right? Relentless bloodbath. Gashed out. Just broken. And then you're just the relentless OCD just trying to pick out the pieces, but the pieces aren't even there. And you're not even there where the pieces were shattered in the first place, but you're still relentlessly just seeking little pieces to fix, and you don't know why, and that you call helping that. You call that helping people. But no, it's really you trying to fix yourself through helping others somehow. And you think, well, somehow that's humanity. We just help each other through the tough, thick and thin, and that's it. But no, because who knew you're the first to abandon any thick and thin, whether it's in your relationship, whether you're girlfriend or boyfriend or this, or a friendship or this or this, or a family. You just say, you take the higher road, so that bash is bash. I'm going with people that will just say yes to me and just circle jerk me into the abyss. Amazing. So everyone's in their little cliques of just yes men and Groundhog Day. Everyone who thinks that they have the their way. This guy believes that this guy's way is right, and I'm sure he's surrounded by people that just boast in it and probably have all the tiny little houses as well. And this and that. But what's the overall message? What are they saying? Oh, here's how to build your tiny house for less than $1,500. Right? That's the message. You can do it too. It's affordable, and then you can just sit back and relax. Oh, right, and this, and that, and forage your own food, and this, and this, and that, right? Oh, right, because who knew that actually people have forgotten, most of these, so-called survival skills, which are no such thing, survival skills. I mean, who knew that people have always had a relationship with Earth, right? If there's always been a relationship with food, meaning what is consumed, right? And of course now you say, oh, I'm the ultimate culinary artist. I'm a chef of the chefs. I'm chef squared. Just because I went to culinary school and it just smashed and smash. And now my bread seals upon bread seals and now I'm a purple seal. And now I'm a relentless pink seal and now a white seal because that is the highest. You can't even see it because it's pure chefhood. It's pure chefhood. You can't even see it. That's how you know you're the real deal. You can't even see it, so that you don't even see what you're eating. Exactly. But if it's told you that it comes from organic or just grass fed or relentless, you just purify it with all these bash vitamins, then you'll say, all right, give me all of it. Just guzzle it down. I'll just guzzle it down. You just watch me. So why people are doing all these little trends? Exactly, little trends. Tiny homes. Because ultimately, where are we going with this? Do people not see that it's their way of rebellion? Because this in itself is rebellion, right? Because everyone around you is apparently in just houses, not tiny houses, just houses. So you're the one saying no. I say tiny, and then you build it, and you're like smashing, and you're like, wow. So I'm showing the way, I'm leading, I'm educating people, and so now they just have to go and embrace the tiny home method. It's taking the nation by storm, and this and this. Wow, amazing. What is the goal with all of this, right? Because who knew that the notion of sustainability has just been bashed into you? Perhaps they're getting you ready into like, wow, you can actually live in this really small space. So now we're just going to all concentrate you into one little bash beehive. And you only really need 10 by 10 space. But don't worry, all your family has to live in there. And the rest is just going to be relentless jungle and just protected areas, because that's harmony with Gaia. And those are the conditions of the new paradigm, the new order. For we learned that just messing with Gaia ends to destruction. So we better just treat Gaia, give Gaia 99% of what Gaia is, and we just take what we need. So we're just going to live relentlessly in these mecca cities of glorious grandeur, all based with living roofs, don't worry, and vertical walls of gardens and all the essences and incense, and just bashos of visual effects and plunders and spinnings of metals that just shimmer and shine, and all little tiny fixtures of color that spring and lights and lights and lights, and I'm in Big Fish. Yes, thank you. I wanted that fantasy come true. So just illuminate me with the circus and tell me when the jumping elephant is next. Because the guy waving the wand with the bear on top of him and just juggling and supporting two other acrobats in one toe wasn't enough. I want to see the jumping elephant. Not the flying elephant, no, the jumping one. The one that jumps and just smashes. What is going on? Biobag knows over there. Biobag knows it's not working because apparently it hasn't given this guy enough gas to just bash. So exactly, what is the overall message? Do you think just by living sustainably and minimally, and also philosophically or esoterically speaking, right, and this and that and that, minimal, just declutter, you need to go and bash soul retrieve, and that's this, is that, blah, 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 smashed. All deniers of life, deniers of the true promise, deniers of life, the way, deniers ultimately of, you guessed it, the unconditional love of the Father, which is there, but no, you say, no, it's just my love for the earth, and then what I can do to help it. And this is how I help. By making a relentless tiny house that's just going to smash and smash, 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 smash. And I have a little latrine that I just put the relentless matador little red cloth over and say hello to my neighbor when I just sit down. And don't worry, guys, my defecation does not smell. No, because I eat relentless yogurt, and I do yogurt enemas, and there's just no smell. Just zero smell. No smell. Zero smell. You might as well just have blasted my nostril sensation with a blowtorch because there's no smell. I can't smell it. At least I can't smell it anymore. And this and this and that. Right? What's going on?
Not place my burdens elsewhere, but instead to take things that would otherwise be a waste product and utilize them to, add fertility to the world, make the world a better place. Poop and
so this guy thinks that by peeping and pooing in buckets, he's just giving it back to the earth. No, I mean it all ends up in the ocean, right? The sewage, right, in the ocean. So why don't you think that that's feeding the earth still, right? If you think that's the ocean as a relentless, the largest aquaponics in the earth, right? You're feeding, right, biomass into the oceans where the little tiny little things eat it up, and this and this and that and this, and somehow you should boast that humanity is flushing all this waste, right? Because we're the relentless, fertilizers. It's human manure, people, and the oceans that just digest it for us. Wow, what a concept, right? This and that and this. But no, you're like, no, it's just the amount of it. It's just so horrendously disgusting. We could just be burying it, or we could just be turning it into some usable manure that we use like cow manure, but instead we would use human manure. And this, and that, and that, and this, and this, and that, and that. No, we couldn't because there's parasites in our poo, and this, and that. No, I don't want to eat parasites. But then you eat relentless other poisons, and this, and this, and that. And this, and this, and do other vile things that just give you diseases, and this, and that. So what's going on? Oh, it's not the things that you do, it's the mentality you worship. That just manifests in just the vast resolve of doubt and separation and anger towards God. That's the only anger that exists. basically denial of life, right? And you don't know. You're growing up and saying, no, why? I know it's just so unfair, blah, blah, blah. So the world teaches you that the world's unfair. So somehow then you turn that into just this resentment, this rebellion, right? Because you think you have the best answer. No. Who knew a man cannot save himself in a sustainable tiny home or in a mansion? Where ultimately it's about faith and what a man worships and what he knows in life, in certainty, in the true promise, right? We are in the vapor. We see, right? We have sight. We see good and evil, the knowledge of good and evil. And what we call our material world that we're trying to minimalize, right? To just somehow use less and recycle and reuse and refurbish and blah, 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 blah. Smash, right? Somehow you then think that is life just because you're the relentless permaculturist, and somehow you just boast in that, and somehow you're virtuous because of it somehow. But no, otherwise it's, do as I will, respect others because apparently they're supposed to respect me and this and that, blah, blah, smashed. So no, there's no sense of morality, and that's why you get this, right? That's why you get all this, right? And people want to make you believe that it's been forever. No, this is what the lie. This is what death is. The lie, right? Sin. All torment, right? Separation, temptation, seduction, allurement of what? Desolation. But it has the false promise that it relentlessly boasts that somehow you deserve it. You should go out there, just do as thou wilt, and smash even harder. So what's this?
I don't want to get in trouble.
It's too late, you are in trouble.
I don't, please, I'll do anything. Please.
No. It's your birthday, and you're going to be spending the night
So first he looked like he was going to cry, now he's just like, oh, it didn't work.
in the cell. Don't
Tammy's
start
got
twisting.
him as
How
well
many
on
people,
11.
how many
Oh,
people have you been
okay.
talking to online?
Thanks, Tammy.
How many children have you been talking to?
I don't know. They talked. They had me.
No,
they
don't.
had me.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
You contact them first, you know how I know that?
How?
Because you're my number 60th arrest. So I know how we work. So don't try lying to me.
Someone just added me on.
So just, okay, who knew that's what, I mean, just lies. Caught, right? And this. Oh. What is this?
This is normally where I put in Jeopardy music.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think this is still funny.
No, it's not funny. It really isn't. Usually when I know, well, always when I know somebody's true age, I disregard, and even on my way here, I had second thoughts. But I did decide to go ahead and come on over just to see, what the situation would be.
And that proves another point that I've been proving all along doing this. Your guys' compulsion outweighs everything. Logic, rationale, morals, everything. Your compulsion outweighs everything, and you guys come anyway. We watch you guys pace back and forth, everything. You literally did every single pattern that we've seen, and then you still walk in here.
Right, who knew? Torment, right? Or just the thrill of like, oh, I know I could get caught and all this stuff, and this, and that, blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, it's destruction, right? For who knew that even if the child were, inviting this person, a stranger, in the middle of the night, right, into their home, right, if their parents are out away or this or the other, right, even if it was a child doing that, why is this person going through with it and doing it anyway? What is going on? And then you say, oh, I know these people, they're just ill, they need help. Instead of just shaming them, they need help. Right. Is that what you would be saying if it was your child that this happened to? No. You would probably want them, who knows? But certainly you'd see the vileness, right? If your child was raped, in the sense of like you were at work at night, and even if your child was the one that, invited them in, what would lead a child to even be on the internet looking for some connection that they don't have an example of in their family, in their life? Right? That means desolation in the family, right? So, I mean, clearly, what these people are doing in the sense of vigilante, poaching and all this stuff, like, fine, right? But who knew that this is relentlessly happening? And these people are probably just like the so-called like bottom feeders. For who knew that this happens at a large scale, right? And you say, no, 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 that's just a legend, and this, and that, blah, 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 blah. It's all past, just not even true. It's too big of a secret to even be possible, and this, and that, and this, and it's all conspiracy theories and blah, 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 tinfoil wearing bashes, and this, and right. And so you see things like this, and you're like, wow, that's a bad apple, some bad apple, right? No, these are the bottom feeders. But what are they doing? Ultimately, they're out there bashing, right? Destroying children, right? Why are these people? I mean, ultimately, it's because nowadays children are just bombarded by sex. It's just everywhere. So slowly but surely, who knew it was just like inviting some stranger into your door to come and just have sex with your child? That's that. So it's just exactly what's going on is what actually is going on. And you're like, no, just because my child watches all this sex on TV, that doesn't mean that no, that somebody's gonna come and do this to my child. No, you just taught your child that somehow but that's how they should become to aware their life and filter the world and this and this and every programming out there is just designed so that the past child is just open to defilement, whether physical or just relentlessly hacking. Because ultimately, all they do is just it's a hack of the lifeline, always like taking you away. Right? What did they say? Taking you away from what? Repetition of very short phrases which change gradually, producing a hypnotic effect. Minimalism. So your child is, and he's starving, for love, starving for truth, been shown the way, right? And anything, but no, the bash parents are just desolate, void, no sense of truth, right? They believe and preach, relative truth, but with respect and this and this and that. What is going on? Just nothing. So it leaves it open for just this to come in and defile in relentless ways and shape shifting forms, right? And so what's going on, right? Because clearly it's being done to us, right? Whether it's some guy coming into your house and doing it to you, physically, or whether it's just the abuse that everyone was raised with, meaning with all the programming, the images, the audio, the just insinuations, the references, this, the other, of all just abusing yourself and others, all for just satisfaction. And somehow somebody has to teach you how to do it because, oh, I know I was confused too when I was growing up, and this, and that, and this, the other. So I could be your grandfather, but hey, I'm just gonna go and just go ahead and show you. Don't worry. I'm just being a nice friend and all. Right? And he's like your bash, next door neighbor that you thought was just babysitting your kids and this, and that. Wow, what's going on? Or even worse, some stranger, right? That your child connected with online on their phone with their app and this, and they're just bash in their rebellion. And they don't give a bash about what their parents said. And they're all the TV shows show them scoring all these hot guys and wow, wow, wow. And who gives a bash? And just all I want is attention. And somehow to rub my being. I'm just so desolate. And I have no clue. But I'm so confused. And this, and that. Wow, what's going on? Because these people are doing it to children in this way. But the children have been had, right? And once it doesn't even matter because once you're in now it's supposed to become somebody, right? Meaning you're supposed to go into the workforce and this and this and this, and then could choose a career path and this and this. Well, how do you want to change the world? You pick, Billy. So at that point, but then all the abuse is just in you, and just you're just either gonna go out there and smash, or just go out and just probably end up killing yourself, right? So what is it, right? Why are people just relentlessly abused to that level of just either joining or just get off and just be homeless, or just try and build yourself a little tiny house and just hope for the best and die, right? Because clearly it's the severance, the just denial of God and going your own way that leads to people believing that just by living in a tiny house, it's just amazing. You're gonna just bash and thrive and just bring in your new utopia. And all while this is happening in actual homes, not in some tiny house, in actual homes to actual children. But no, apparently tiny house building is the answer. And you'll say, of course, the world's issues are relentless and not one glove fixes all. Well, it's because you believe in compartmentalizing everything. So which front are you fighting now, huh? Which front? The one that clearly shows you how evil works? By destruction. Right? These people know that what they're doing, but they do it anyway. Again and 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 again. Until they're caught, and then apparently it's just their first time. Oh no, this is the first time.
Didn't even knock. Just opened the door, walked right in.
Exactly, to the point where they just walk in.
I don't get it. I'm never going to understand it. And I don't think any of the following will either, because people like us are very different than people like you. And the reason why I'm doing this is to raise a...
Right, so who knew? I mean, that's part of what, right? It's almost, right, they're saying, no, you're not like us. You're just completely different. But that's the thing. What's this person standing on? Is he just some average person that's supposed to have just some general morality that everyone else should have? Or it's just common sense? Based on what? Right? But that never comes up. It's just, an open ridicule and, bashing. And he says, all of you guys should just get worse punishment than you currently do. Because it's disgusting, it's vile, this, and the other, and this, and this, and that, and that. But what's the reference, right? What that is? Are you saying there's an absolute truth? That there is, an objective truth, and that there is such a thing as good and evil? Is that what this guy's, whole purpose? Of course, he has the scales, right? The scales of justice, preying on predators, right? And this and that and this. Wow, amazing. And he has convictions, right? He has helped law enforcement, convict these guys. So what's going on? And why isn't law enforcement doing more about it, right? And they're like, well, they're just understaffed, and there's just not enough, and too many of them. There's too many of these people, and they're just so creepy and savvy, and they just come in the night and walk in. Apparently, that's how good they are. They don't even have to break in. They just open the door and come in the dark. Because apparently children are just so abused and just desolate that they'll invite the darkness in themselves. So what is going on? Clearly it's not about building tiny homes and thinking sustainability and just liberal thought, bash, environment, blah, 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 blah. Because clearly the environment that you live in is just desolate. So who knew that you're burning inside? Humanity is burning, right, with their lust and temptation and just deplorable just refractions and bashwood of themselves, that they can't wait to just go and do it to children, so that then they can do it and carry their torch of liberal way and just do as I will, because we're so free. This is the ultimate sexual freedom, people, to the point where as soon as the baby is brought, the mother's giving birth, you could just start having sex with it. right? Because it's just amazing. Completing the cycle and this, and that. It's so beautiful, right? No, what is going on? And these people will stand there and say, "Yeah, well, I know it's wrong, but what can I do? It's just my
Awareness
first time."
and to
This
try
and
to
that.
get the laws stricter so guys like you get the punishment you really deserve.
All the while they were, alluring these people, right? Text messaging in these dating sites and all this bosh, 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 bosh. And that's just one
Now,
means of
which brings me to
mechanism,
my
right? That's just on the internet. Forget, real encounters, whether it's through club, sports, this, that, some bash teacher. Just they're everywhere, right? This evil is everywhere. Who knew? So how is it? How is evil coming in and smashing you in the dark, right? You don't know, but this is one of the ways. This is one of the ways, and I would say one of the main ways. And because who knew that all these children? It's not just today that this is happening. Who knew that it's been hard at work? Probably decades, if not more. If not going to the days of the Industrial Revolution leading up to World War One, and then the abuse of children during and after, so that they would be bashed and believe and push a dream of a utopia of a new world. And it was cooked up. And as far as what happened before, it's just who knows? It's up in the air at this point because it was rewritten. Just bash. That was rewritten, but no, people couldn't wait to boast about how Scripture, how supposedly it has been, you can't even trust it. So unless you read Hebrew or Aramaic or Pash, whatever, Greek, you don't know. You don't have any authority on the Word of God. You have no clue. Zero clue. Zero. Right? What a shame. Right? Because clearly it's just an immoral state that manifests things like this amongst many.
My next question. What do you think should happen to guys like you? You're gonna come out here and steal a child's soul tonight. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Having sex with a child.
He says yes. Wow, he understands that tonight a child was going to lose their soul. He's like, yeah. And most people would say, oh, because he was abused. Oh no, blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, so exactly. So we're in the sense of in life, all of us are implicit, right? We're all implicated in the sense we're all making this happen. We're all doing it to ourselves, right? We're all doing it to ourselves. And so clearly we know what we're engaged. We can deny ourselves to say, I didn't know. Nobody told me. What? I didn't know. Yes, we all know what we're doing. And we know the ways we're satisfying certain things and how we're not others. And this and that and this and this. And we're always boasting how we're apparently getting better and better and better and more and more and more. And just relentlessly realizing my mistakes and being open to the maybe-ness of my reality, my existence. And I'm just dust to dust and asper, and this and this. I'm just going to go out and smash because I deserve it. Because, oh, poor me. This guy said earlier, oh, I'm fat. Nobody likes me. Well, I was lonely. This, that. Right? So then he just walks in and just it was about to have sex with a child. Wow, amazing. So what's going on? Would it not be just pure deception that would lead a man to just engage in such a way? So just just obtuse denial, just blunt force denial, right? Right, and that's exactly the state at which humanity is at, just blunt force denial. Right, and Satan is laughing because we're all just doing his bidding, thinking we're rewarding ourselves and all that we can scavenger and just bottom feed in the pleasures and the lust of all the depravity of our flesh.
On top of, like you said yourself, I don't normally, fire shots all the time, but I mean, look at you, right? And on top of that, you're gonna come and steal a child's soul. You're a nightmare on top of a nightmare. What do you think should happen to guys like you?
Just like catatonic. Just catatonic. You know, why aren't you worshiping your earrings right now and hoping they whisper sweet nothings that you can say? Why don't you just letting them antenna in the fractal of just the lust that brought you into here? No, they're silent right now. Just they're not even real. So what's going on?
Wow. That's interesting.
A good actor, you know, he's acting as though he's reflecting, and just finally he clicked in. Not the other thousands of times he's probably done this, but no. Apparently, every single person that got caught, it's like, oh no, nobody told me. I didn't know. It's just my nothing was gonna happen. It was this was the first time I ever just went through with it. Other times I was just never did it. No, no, no. I was blocked up. That's what's going on. Denial, denial, denial.
So we're gonna do two things. I'm gonna let you know where I'm going with this, and then we're gonna ask them. So first
Okay,
off,
so whatever.
how about
I mean, and what number 119? Wow, there's probably 200 by now or more or thousands. But these one at least caught or just videotape. This guy was number 119. Wow. So what is going on? Where's the love? Right? What is love to you? If you love those who love you, what credit is that you? That to you? Even sinners love those who love them. Exactly. False love. What is going on? There is no fear in you. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. Perfect love. The unconditional love of the Father, right? Drives out fear. Who knew? So we shouldn't fear. What is fear, right? Notion of separation of God, right? That is the only fear to be recognized. Falling away from God forever. In his final refinement, his final judgment. For he is righteousness forever, right? And so we know and rely on the love God has for us. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in them. I mean, I would just reading yourselves. This is just what exactly to use nothing. Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in them. Love is patient, love is kind, love is patient and kind. If I give all I possess to the poor and exult in their surrender of my body, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no account of wrongs. Of course, unconditional. This is how we know that we love the children of God, by loving God and carrying out his commands. Whoever claims to love God yet hates a brother or sister is a liar. The Lord said to me, go show your love to your wife again. Yeah. Then the Lord said to me, Go show love to your wife again, though she is loved by another man and is an adulteress. Love her as the Lord loves the Israelites, though they turn to other gods and offer raisin cakes to idols. So I bought her for 15 shekels of silver and a homer and a thick of barley. Then I said to her, You must live with me for many days. You must not be promiscuous or belong to another, and I will do the same for you. For the Israelites must live many days without king or prince, without sacrifice or sacred pillar, and without ephod or idol. Afterward, the people of Israel will return and seek the Lord their God and David their king. They will come trembling to the Lord and to his goodness in the last days. Right, so we are the relentless adulterer, just gone out. We're the relentless cheater, the rebel, all because we want to liberate ourselves somehow, but we had to create a cooked up way so that we'd actually believe it. Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. Right? So when everybody out there is talking about minimalism and this and that, and what is it? It's this. Oh, wow, wow, wow. It's intentionality in this. It's just power of attraction and this, that. And it's being just this minimal thinking, minimal that simple life, everyone. Just bliss, bliss, bliss. Mindfulness, mindfulness, mindfulness. Awareness, awareness, awareness. Batting thoughts left, right, and center. Blah, blah, blah. Breathing with your belly, and let's go. What is going on? Right? This believing in this in spirits, right? Channeling and all this, right? For many false prophets have gone out into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God, and every spirit that does not confess Jesus is not from God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have heard is coming and is already in the world at this time. Who knew? Who knew? This is the spirit of the Antichrist, right? A liar. That which does not confess Jesus. And that's how you test if it's from God. You little children are from God and have overcome them, because greater is He who is in you than he who is in the world. They are of the world, that is why they speak from the world's perspective, and the world listens to them. We are from God. Whoever knows God listens to us. Whoever is not from God does not listen to us. That is how we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of deception. Right. So, have you allowed God to reclaim you as His child, as a son or daughter of God, of Him, from Him, or will you keep in denial and rebel and rejecting His unconditional love? For you're in His image. Beloved, let us love one another, because love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Exactly. So all these people that are out there relentlessly bashing and just creating just lustful, just perversions, it's because exactly to them there's no love is just a nothing. They have zero love, right? Because God is, they have shut God out of their lives because they deny Him. They're like, well, God doesn't exist because I'm just so passionate. I was abused too, and this or that or the other. So it's just how the devil works. It's how it's just deception and believing of yourself, whether self, your worthlessness, and how you just have to boast, and how you're just gonna boast and boast throughout, and just wrath, fury. For you, take your own vengeance, or just go out there and take what's yours, because yeah, you deserve it. It's just, I know, it's just you can't help it, but somehow, no, it's just amazing. Because who knows it's not just bad apples. Who know it's actually a mechanism that actually keeps people bashed. That's how I mean, everyone knows that somebody who's destroyed, right, can be controlled, manipulated. That's why people have handlers, and it doesn't end in the brotherhoods and this, and even in a business, a corporation, blah, blah, blah. You have to answer to that body, this, bash, 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 bash. And ultimately, who knew that there's it's just sexual, just bash, lust out there, smashing all of it. And it's influencing all of us and all of the children. It's just a bloodbath. But somehow to you it's just minimal. As long as I don't have clutter in my living room, I am amazing. Because I am nothing like these people, and I am just so amazing. I'm just full of love, and I just can't I just can't wait to help the world this and then and every day. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This is how God's love was revealed amongst us. God sent his one and only Son into the world so that we might live through him. And love consists in this, not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins. Beloved, if God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God remains in us, and his love is perfected in us. By this we know that we remain in him and he in us. He has given us his Spirit, and we have seen and testified that the Father has sent his Son to be the Savior of the world. Amen. If anyone confesses that Jesus is the Son of God, God abides in him, and he in God. And we have come to know and believe the love that God has for us. God is love. Whoever abides in the love abides in God, and God in him. In this way, love has been perfected amongst us, so that we may have confidence on the day of judgment. For in this world we are just like him. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear involves punishment. The one who fears has not been perfected in love. We love because he first loved us. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, right? So in the wisdom of God, you become perfected in love. If anyone says, I love God, but hates his brother, he is a liar. For anyone who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen. And we have this in commandment from him: whoever loves God must love his brother as well. What is going on? Exactly. Love your brother. Love your enemy. Forgive as the Father forgives, right? And love as the Father loves you, and has offered, right? Has given us of his Spirit. Amen. Amen. So none of these tiny homes or minimalist philosophies or bash, or just all the bash, sinister, depraved, ways of fulfilling lust and horniness, and this is that, all because one is crushed, right? Spiritually, you have hacked away at your life. You have been you deny God, and you deny the saving word. Also, you could go and make your own apparent righteousness, justice, balance. You're the balancing. Decide that you want to decide who lives and dies, right? You're gonna say, "Oh no, I'm fighting for people like that, or they're disgusting." They're just be eliminated. And other people, no, I want to protect them and this and that. Whoa. Love. Right? Confess that Jesus is the Son of God. Right? And of course, we don't. It's laughable to all of us, right? And we're like, oh no, so. But then it just baffles us why we just stumbling and just hitting our bash skulls in a ditch relentlessly and stepping on landmines relentlessly, and we're like, nobody told me. This and that smashed. It's been written. It's been finished, right? What has been poured for us to see and witness, reconcile, recognize, return, right? Seek the waters, right? Drink freely, for it is there. It is here. Let us abide in him. Amen.